Hello, Mr. Lee. This is from the South China Morning Post. There are 8 voters casting ballots against you. What does this...
Can you speak up, please?
Sure.
Or hold it closer to your...
My first question, there were 8 voters casting ballots against you. What does this mean to you? Second question, some political scholars said your governance is expected to be challenged by the lack of electoral mandate and legitimacy in the eyes of the general public. Do you agree? And you just said that you plan to gain the trust with actions. How about reconciliation with those who were not satisfied with the government and those arrested in the social unrest? And yesterday you...
sorry, please keep it to 2 questions.
Okay.
Well, I still miss your second question, so you will have to ask that again. But regarding to those election committee members who do not vote for me, of course, I thank them for coming here to vote. First of all, I think that is important because the chief executive election is an important thing. So their presence here signifies the importance of the election, so I thank for their presence. I try all my best to do what I can to convince members of the public, particularly members of the election committee, of what I intend to do for Hong Kong in the next 5 years. I have been running around to meet people, explaining my governing philosophy, my intended plan of how I solve problems in Hong Kong. And of course, I will try my best to further convince whoever who disagrees with me, because it is my duty to let people understand what I can do to them. But I do understand there will be a time that is needed for me to convince the people. But I can do that by action, so that when they see results, they somehow will know that, well, at least he is trying his best. And I hope that by accumulating successes after another success, then I can get them be convinced that what I'm trying to do is for the best of Hong Kong. I'll keep doing that.
The second question is surrounding your legitimacy. Some political scholars said that your performance is going to be challenged by the lack of the electoral mandate and legitimacy in the eyes of some people. Do you agree? And then you just said that you plan to gain the trust with actions. How about reconciliation with those who were not satisfied with the government? Thank you.
Well, I think the echo here really makes it not easy to hear exactly, but my election has been run in accordance with the laws of Hong Kong, and you can see the election was conducted in a very transparent and fair manner. Anybody who, according to the law, is qualified can take part and run for the election. I have got a total of 1,460 votes, and with that number of support, of course, it encourages me and gives me this strong confidence that my direction is agreed and shared by a lot of election committee members, and in my meeting, members of the public. I also feel that a lot of them share my thinking and agree with the direction. There is, of course, a high demand on what I will deliver. I know that. That is why I never underestimate the challenge that I shall be facing. And that is exactly why I think I must energize and synergize the government, so that while we have the same number of people working together, we want to achieve more. We want to make 1 + 1 greater than 2. And not just that. I want the government and the community to work together so that this 1 plus the big one will be greater, definitely, by the greater 2. That is what I intend to do. I will try my best to prove that by the action of the government in the coming 5 years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. From Bloomberg, what concrete steps will you take to ensure the international business community's trust? And can you elaborate on your plan to allow low-risk businesses internationally to enter the city? And also, can you elaborate on your COVID-0 plan?
I will have to request you to repeat. The echo mixes up a lot of things.
Can you, what concrete steps will you take to show the international community that Hong Kong is open for business, and also elaborate on your plan to allow low-risk businesses to enter the city while expanding on your policies for COVID?
Okay. In and out of Hong Kong internationally is important to Hong Kong, obviously, because Hong Kong, as I have emphasized, to strengthen our position as an international city, as an international metropolis. And Hong Kong has always been like this, to be opened, to be a very welcoming society, inclusive and lively city, which always welcome people come in and go out of Hong Kong. Yes, we have challenges now because of the need to control COVID-19, and some of the measures are indeed creating inconvenience, but this is being done with the best balance, with the need to address the risk of the spread of the pandemic. But I have already seen that a lot of activities have been coming on, and society has already given me the impression of vibrance and also happiness, with everybody now being a lot easier to go about their day-to-day life. I make it a very clear point that I'm very conscious of the need to make Hong Kong accessible to the world, and also it is an important thing for Hong Kong to be able to resume normal travel with the mainland. I've heard that many times from the man in the street or from the international community. That is Hong Kong's attraction, that it is open for everybody to come. They go about their businesses in their way they want, and they enjoy their lives and development and the opportunities in Hong Kong. And equally, they look forward to be able to travel to the mainland easily. Well, these are challenges, but I think we can work together to make this a possible thing to happen if, first of all, we all together make a great effort to control COVID together, to follow the advice and the measures of the government, and then we try to boost up our vaccination rate even further, including the second and the third jabs. I shall, of course, be talking to the counterparts in the mainland to find out what are the conditions that will be required for normal travel to be resumed with the mainland. A lot of challenges, I know that, and I'm frank about the difficulties that I will have to overcome. But one point I've mentioned earlier is the mainland authorities have always the interests of Hong Kong close to their heart. And with that same purpose, and with our will together, I'm sure we can find a way. Thank you very much. And
Thank you very
for your
much.
support.
或者我哋最後2條啊，紅色衫嗰位女士。
Okay.